What's going on, gamers? Hopefully everybody is doing well. Maybe not so much if you're in the Xbox world as a gamer. I can understand. It's always crazy, and it's about to get even more crazy in this video. Can you believe this? This company, man, I tell you. Tom Henderson, Gears of War E-Day, has a $400+ million budget. Man, I cannot believe this. Guys, do you know what this means? Okay, so remember, Spider-Man 2 cost Sony 350 million. And we were talking about 100 million, 200 million budgets, right? We need a moment of silence for that. In order for this game to somewhat break even, they need to sell 6 million copies. And they're going to make this an exclusive? It's like everything they do, they set up for failure. They literally, I don't understand how this game is going to sell 6 million copies. Real quick. And remember, that's just breaking even. And I was hearing that the marketing is going to be 100 million. $500 million. So this game is going to be in that Spider-Man 2 situation where it needs to sell like 8 million, 9 million. It's probably going to have to sell 10 million to make them good profit. Do you think this game is going to do that, guys? Only on Steam and Xbox? It's a serious question. With day one on Game Pass, how does any of this make sense? You have to have Game Pass or you're going to have no community without PlayStation. Hunter says they should have put Gears on PlayStation. They should have put everything on PlayStation 5. And then there's a clip on the video on YouTube where Tom Henderson gets into this. I got this for you. Neb actually has it posted. We're going to go to that. Then we're going to read some comments. This is unbelievable. Like, when you think about the situation this game is going to be put in, where it's launching, that month is going to be insane, and the month before it's going to be absolutely juggernaut too in September. Go in September and go in October and look at all the gaming releases that are coming around there. It is absolutely the most insane stuff I've seen in gaming history. So many huge games that are coming out consistently. And then GTA coming in November with Phantom Blade and everything else. And Nintendo hasn't even given you the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake window. That's going to be somewhere around there. Call of Duty launching too as well. Modern Warfare 4. I don't know what to tell you. Gears is in trouble. And like I said before, it's going to be hard to keep that game afloat. How are they going to make all that money? Just setting up these studios and situations. And I'm trying to figure out, why would it cost you 400 million to make this game if you're using the Unreal Engine 5 and it's supposed to be a free engine? Crazy stuff, man, when you really think about this. Hunter says, skip to the 40-minute mark of the podcast to hear the news. The Gaming Prophet says, Gears is what PlayStation fanboys really want. No, you're just being an Xbox fanboy. Honestly, no game, unless your GTA, should cost anywhere near 100 million. Where were the costs for this game to be 400+ million? That's what I'm trying to tell you. So it's cost Sony like 60 million to get Ghost of Yotei, and maybe 80 to 90 to get all the other stuff going with it. I don't know how this is managing your budget, but that is embarrassing. Let's go ahead and get to this part of the podcast over here with Nib, right? Because he actually has,
for example,
has it right here. What the hell's going on here? Okay, here we go. For some reason, I couldn't get to it. Okay, so this is where it's going to happen. We're going to rewind it here. And then we're going to take a look at this clip to see what Tom Henderson has to say about Gears of War E-Day. Man... Guys, I don't know what to tell you. It's crazy. So, Nib says, Gears of War E-Day, 400 million, Tom Henderson. Sorrow's cost 76 million, game director. Ghost of Yotei, 60 million, game director. Marathon, 200 million. Black Ops 7, 1 billion. Oh, God. Grand Theft Auto 6, 1 to 1.5 billion. Expedition 33, 10 million. Marvel's Wolverine, 305 million. But Gears of War is more expensive than all of them. Crazy stuff. Let's listen to this real quick, guys. Become a member. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think.
There's been a lot of confusion. I think, for example, having talking about exclusives and then 6 hours later actually coming out on Twitter of all places saying, oh, we're looking into it. Just what the fuck? Like, that's insane.
Or the whole PlayStation 5 Gears thing where the reports came out right before the showcase that they made a late decision to change it.
Kind of shattered the relationship.
Kind of proved that they made a late decision. And then you have like, no, it wasn't a late decision. We just kept it under the... I'm sorry, when your own Xbox podcast thing, your video direct comes up and it shows Gears E-Day coming to PS5 and then you have to immediately take it down. that is evidence it was a late decision because you have to tell
They
the
lie a lot.
production staff of, hey, we need to fix this right away. Like,
I mean, yeah, like not to get into all of that stuff, but like I heard that it was 5 or 6 weeks ago that decision was made. But I would consider that a late decision because I mean, you're a multi-trillion-dollar business and you're making decisions like that on a whim. And I do
that's
think
all they've been doing lately.
I do think that Gears of War not going to PS5 is a cheap win. I'm sorry, I do. Gears of War's budget is insane. Like I've heard upwards of $400 million. That budget is absolutely insane for Gears.
He said it right there, and he said that feels like a cheap win. Like, what's the point if it's going to cost you $400+ million and the marketing may be about $100 million? You're setting up Gears to fail. You see what I mean? This company can't do anything right. If she was an intelligent CEO, why would you do that to please Xbox fanboys? Like a small amount. But when you talk about making money in Cincos and if things do well, you just set up the first exclusive, one of your biggest games to literally make no profit now. If it is, you're going to have to put that on sale. You passed up an easy $2 million on PlayStation. It's $140 million, $70. You see what I'm saying? And if you would have sold $2 million on PC this year and $1 million on Xbox, you got your $5 million. That's $350 million, at least right then and there. Plus microtransactions and all that. But no, now you're going to have to find a way to make up that extra $2 million that you would have sold on PlayStation. Because you would have at least gotten it on PlayStation. And when you get to that, now you're starting to break even. You see what I mean? With $6 million. And if it's $100 million marketing, that's $500 million. You know, 7 times 7 is 49, right? So you would have to sell 7 million copies to get close to breaking even. How is this game going to do that? The highest selling Gears of all time was 2, and it sold like 6 point something million. Just to let you know, the highest sold Gears of War of all time is Gears of War 2. It didn't even sell 7 million copies. And there was nothing to compete with it around that time in that sense like that. Like all these games that are coming out now, it's going to be absolutely juggernaut competition. Vacuums all over. That's what I try to tell you. When it comes to this company, I don't know like what decision they made lately that was actually good. If you now start looking at all the facts, and AGNs were trying to tell you they don't know what they're doing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, it probably wasn't going to make money even if it was on PlayStation, but no, it's definitely not going. Like, who's buying an Xbox and Game Pass for Gears? No one, in my opinion. And there's no Xboxes to buy anyway because of all they can't make anymore.
Give them all away.
So
you see what I mean? That's why I said the exclusives are pointless. None of my stuff was clickbait. I'm sitting here trying to tell you, what is the point? This company's annoying. It's like you care about a franchise, and guess what they did? They set this franchise up. They cost $400 million. Plus maybe $100 million for marketing. If you don't believe me, go look at it. We can take a look at it after this. And now you don't even know if it's going to make a profit. Guys, I don't get this company, man. And I don't want to because I don't want to think like that. So now we're seeing that Gears of War X an exclusive is probably not going to stay an exclusive. Because if so, Microsoft is literally just trying to commit suicide with Gears. And put it in a situation where it's not going to make back that money. Steam is not obsessed with Gears of War. I'm telling you. They're not going to buy like 6 million copies and stuff like that. I highly doubt it. Hopefully they buy a few million at least. But, and Xbox? You think Xbox? Day one Game Pass? It would be amazing if it sold 2 million on Xbox. So we're trying to figure out, how are you going to get that 7 million? 6 million at least. It's gonna be tough, y'all.
Yeah. They gave them all away. I think I said this to a few people at Summer Games Fest, and I definitely stand by this, is what they should have done. I think Xbox have a really big issue of catering to the core audience, or that passionate audience that, you know, like does go around at these events and does the X symbol everywhere and all that kind of nonsense. I think it is very dangerous that they do that for a number of reasons.
They're social.
Like brand visibility and all that kind of stuff. But what they should have done is they should have put Gears on PlayStation 5. They should have put Clockwork, if that's going to release by the time Helix comes out, on PS5. They should have put everything on the PS5. And then when Helix comes out, they should have gone, right, you've had a taste of what Xbox has to offer.
I like
our entire slate.
That's what I said.
The next Halo, the next Gears, the next whatever is all console exclusive.
Yep. That way you're starting with a clean slate on the next system.
That's what I was saying before. But if you're going to do that, you're also going to need a cheaper model like Xbox Helix S. And it needs to be cheaper than the PlayStation 6. I like the way the Series S was cheaper than every other PlayStation console. And if you do that with an expensive hardcore model, and then you're trying to say that the only other way to get Xbox games is on the Xbox PC app, that you could play that game. But with the way this company's talking about selling off Xbox and all this stuff, man, I just can't trust anything with them or their visions. They never do all the right moves. It's like, I don't know, man. Then when it comes to component costs, they told you it's way more expensive. So what they want to do is they want to focus on AI feed, just like NVIDIA. So we're going to have to reduce the production of RTX 5000 series. Why? And bring back older stuff. Because you're feeding everything to the AI. That's why. And it ain't like they couldn't make more Xbox consoles. They just realized that, why would I do that when I can make way more money in this and the whole world? And, you know, it has me is partially relying on me to do this AI feed as well, along with NVIDIA and all those other companies with Samsung. I'm telling you, that's what it is. Component crisis. And Microsoft has a lot to do with that monopoly. Why would they not? They're one of the richest companies in the world pushing AI. So they're telling you, no, we'd rather sacrifice the Xbox and keep feeding AI.
They need to go all in on exclusives, otherwise there is no point. I've seen earlier today that Asher
there
said
isn't. That's what I said. It's pointless.
One major exclusive on Xbox every year or something. That does nothing. That does jack shit.
Yeah.
That does nothing.
Tom was just being honest here, and this is something that we all have to look at.
There's been a lot of confusion, I think, for
yeah, that's always going to be going on. Considering GTA 5 costs $265 million, even with 13-year difference in inflation, all these games are wildly over budgeted. I really doubt Black Ops 7 is $1 billion. It's a DLC marketed as a full game. If it really is, they really do not know how to use money. Well, Call of Duty actually costs a lot of money, like, yeah, $700 million and stuff like that. You guys be like, how, right? And because look how fast they make them. They put so much resource into that, and they spend so much money into the machine learning and everything else too. You would think that it wouldn't, right? That's why I say that it has to sell 10 million. That's why they put it on Switch too. It's like, I don't think people understand those budgets of Call of Duty cost a lot of money. Everything with Microsoft is insanely out of control. Just in general, it's like, how are you going to make this money back? Now you realize that, and even for Call of Duty to make a profit of over 700 million, think about this. If you sold 10 million copies at $70, so they get deluxe editions and buy microtransactions, you made 700 plus million with tax. You made a profit. Then after that, you have to start selling and getting people to get the microtransactions every single year, right? Though the next one should not cost nowhere near that much, but let's see how much those budgets are. You kind of get the idea of the direction this company is headed in. That's why I say it's a sinkhole. And then you're like, oh, but Black Ops, putting it on Game Pass, I lost 350 million. So that's how much now? $1.05 billion. They have to make that back. That's the thing people weren't thinking. They did. They told you we lost 300 and something million putting it on Game Pass day one. Everyone ran with 200 million Concord budget without any hard proof. Why question anything now? Just believe it's 400 million. There's no way Concord cost 400 million. The same insider source who claimed that was wrong about several other points too. Plus, we had an idea of employee count and timeline. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. But guys, there it is right there. Going over here, we can take a look at some other comments down here. It's getting a little nuts here. Game Pass makes nearly double that in a month. Y'all still think Game Pass sales matter, LOL. This guy is kind of slow. No, it does not. Not even close. You're being deceived. You're not being given the real numbers. How much it costs for a game to actually be day one on Game Pass. This is an example. That's 400 million, and you're putting it on Game Pass, and you don't make it back. So you keep doing it with every game you put on there. How much money are you really losing? That's why you have to go multi-platform. They can't grow the console business by putting everything on PlayStation. The console business is over, dude. This is why the Xbox base is not that smart. It'll be on PS5 within 6 months of release. See, I could say that could be believable. I just don't trust Microsoft. Microsoft can't have it both ways, and unfortunately for them, they've already opened Pandora's box by releasing games on PlayStation 5. There's no short-term fix for this, especially with even more Xbox tentpole titles still on the way. Yeah, just 2 games. Clockwork, which I heard may cost 500 million. What? And Gears of War E-Day. I don't know what to tell you. Xbox Studios Closure Collection. Oh man, yeah, dude, that would be terrible. If we got some more stuff going with that. You realize Game Pass makes 400 million plus a month, right? Like when you see this type of stuff, they seriously think that means profit. They're talking about revenue. and it's not what you think. Yeah, you might want to do your homework and really realize what Microsoft's trying to tell you, because it's a lie. They already told you how Game Pass was sinking down and losing millions of subscribers too. They're looking at older numbers. Yeah, they're not telling you the up-to-date numbers. So I want you guys to let me know what you think about Gears of War having a 400 million plus budget. And what I was telling you guys before, if you go over here and take a look at this, I found out that the marketing by somebody was 100 plus million. We'll find it. You know, it's really concerning because it's like, why isn't that on there too? Yeah, Spider-Man 2 budget was 300 something million. Yeah, I don't know where that post was at, but somebody was telling me that the marketing is 100 plus million. Maybe I skipped it. If you guys find it, let me know. I forgot where the hell that was at. I was just looking at that before I came over here. But good Lord, man, I'm really worried about this game. Now, you guys see why I was worried about this game? I tried to tell you that it is in trouble. No doubt about that. Now, where is that? Oh, yeah. $400 million to make. Oh, yeah. Clockwork Revolution together cost over $500 million. That's absolutely insane. What in the hell? We'll get to that some other time. Oh, man. What is wrong with this company, man? But yeah, somebody was telling me it had a $100 plus million budget. Oh, was that was the article we were reading, I think. I don't see it over here. I can't find it in any of these posts. We'll end up getting all our answers here, though, down the line, though. But right now, it just seems like I can't run into anything on Twitter that was telling me that. It was only in that article, and I don't feel like trying to look for that article that I was reading. Here we go. 400 plus million on development, 100 plus million on marketing. Being on a Game Pass is losing over 300 million. I've read this somewhere else, too. So, Gears has never been a big seller. The best was Gears 2 at 6.7 million copies sold. It needs to exceed that to make a dime back. The final days of Xbox are upon us. Man, that's pretty sad to know that, but all this stuff is insane. Man, Microsoft, what the hell are you doing? Later, y'all. Keep on gaming no matter what platform you're on. This is all nuts.